Chances are you've already used generative AI today. Seriously, maybe you didn't even realize it at the time, but if you've searched the web, leaned on an advanced writing assistant, or scrolled past an impossibly perfect image on social media, you have absolutely interacted with it. But do you actually know how it works? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. Over the next few minutes, we're going to demystify this whole thing. I'm going to show you exactly how AI creates text, images, audio, and video. And it's crazy because it all stems from one incredibly powerful idea. We're going to pull back the curtain, ditch the heavy jargon, and look at the actual mechanics of how these systems build something out of seemingly nothing.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, what is generative AI? 2, learning through patterns. 3, generating text. 4, generating images. 5, generating audio and video. And finally, 6, the tool ecosystem. Let's get right to it.
Starting with Section 1, what is generative AI? The core idea. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it shows between traditional AI and generative AI. For years, we've had traditional AI. Think of your email spam filter or the algorithm telling you what movie to binge next. Those systems are strictly analytical. They look at existing data, spot a pattern, and then organize or recommend things based on that. They're essentially just sorting information. But generative AI, it completely flips that script. It takes that exact same ability to recognize patterns, but uses it as an engine to create brand new, entirely original output. It's the massive leap from just analyzing things to actually creating them.
To put that into perspective, think of it like a student. Traditional AI is the student who reads 1,000 books and can perfectly organize them by genre for you. Generative AI, though, that's the student who reads those exact same thousands of books, absorbs the themes, the pacing, the vocabulary, and then sits down to write an entirely original novel. It is generating actual original thought, not just reciting a memorized list. It's a real game changer.
Moving to Section 2, learning through patterns. This is the engine under the hood.
So how exactly does this student learn? Well, the magic happens through systems called neural networks and transformers. Now, don't let those technical terms intimidate you. Simply put, these are complex computing systems inspired by the architecture of the human brain. During their training, they are fed massive datasets. Literally, vast chunks of the entire internet, millions of images, thousands of hours of audio. But here's the secret sauce. The AI is not just some giant hard drive saving copies of files. Instead, these networks process the data to learn the underlying structures, the styles, and the relationships within the information.
So, the crucial point is that it learns patterns. It doesn't memorize. It's exactly like learning the rules of grammar by reading millions of sentences. Once you understand the grammar, the syntax, the vocab, you can construct an infinite number of new sentences that you've never explicitly seen before. The AI is doing exactly this. It's mastering the foundational grammar of the data it was fed, whether that data happens to be words, pixels, or sound waves.
All right, Section 3, generating text. The word predictors.
Now that we understand the engine, let's look at how it spits out text. This is driven by large language models, or LLMs. When you use tools like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, you're chatting with an LLM. Here's the actual loop of what's happening. Step 1, you provide a prompt. Step 2, the AI analyzes the context based on all those linguistic patterns it learned. Step 3, and this is where it gets crazy, the model just predicts the next logical word. That's it. It doesn't write a whole essay in one thought. It calculates, mathematically, what the most probable next word should be over and over again. In Step 4, the output is generated word by word right in front of you. It happens so incredibly fast it feels like a human typing, but it's literally just hyper-advanced word prediction, writing your code, summarizing your meetings, or answering your questions.
Up next, Section 4, generating images, finding clarity in noise.
So what happens when we jump from words to visuals? It requires a totally different mechanism. Platforms like DALL-E and Midjourney rely on what are called diffusion models. Here is the best way to visualize this. Imagine a TV screen filled with absolute static, pure, random visual noise. When you prompt the AI for, say, a cat riding a skateboard, it doesn't just instantly paste a cat onto a skateboard. Instead, it starts with that static noise and gradually refines it. It meticulously chisels away the visual noise, relying on its learned patterns of what cat and skateboard look like until a perfectly clear image emerges. It's literally finding clarity in the chaos.
Section 5, generating audio and video, sound and motion.
Creating a static image is amazing, but we're now pushing into the dimensions of sound and time. Just like AI learns the grammar of text, it learns the mathematical structure of sound. It studies voice patterns, tonal inflections, the rhythm of speech, and even the layered structure of music. Because of this, tools like 11 Labs can generate incredibly realistic, emotional human voices for your podcast, while platforms like Suno can synthesize full musical tracks from scratch just from a simple text prompt. It understands the grammar of sound waves.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the most complex frontier yet: video generation. Generating video is exponentially harder than an image. Why? Because an image is just static patterns. A video, though, has to combine those images with motion and temporal patterns. It's not just about what a dog looks like. It's about how that dog's fur moves in the wind over 5 seconds and how the shadows shift as it walks. It adds the element of time. Platforms like Sora and Runway ML are pioneering this, taking a text prompt and rendering a moving, cohesive video clip. It's an absolute masterclass in pattern generation.
Section 6. The tool ecosystem. Real-world applications.
We've talked a lot about the mechanics, but let's zoom out to the practical side. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive ecosystem of tools available right now. Generative AI is not just one app, it's an entire suite ready to upgrade your workflow. For text, you've got powerhouses like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. For visuals, DALL-E and Midjourney are leading the charge. Need audio? Suno and 11 Labs have you covered. And for cutting-edge video, Sora and Runway ML are doing incredible things. The whole shebang is incredibly accessible and completely changing how we create.
So let's bring all this together. The core takeaways are simple but profound. First, generative AI creates entirely new content from learned patterns. Second, while the core idea is the same, the actual mechanics operate differently across text, images, audio, and video. Third, it's all powered by neural networks trained on massive data sets to learn the grammar of our world. And finally, this isn't some distant sci-fi concept, it's already deeply integrated into our daily lives.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Generative AI is not the future, it's the present. It's the architect of a whole new kind of creation. So the real question is, are you using it to drive your own efficiency and innovation? Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer. If you found this breakdown helpful, please smash that like button, jump into the comments, and let me know what your absolute favorite AI tool is right now. And be sure to subscribe so you never miss our next explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.